Today I'm going to show you how to make a coffee cake from scratch. While the crumble topping is key to the coffee taste that comes from this cake, the recipe and the key steps embedded in it are important for you to be able to obtain the best results. So here is a step through making a coffee cake from scratch. Hope you enjoy. Since coffee cake is essentially a cake, it can fall into the 3 stages in baking a cake, which are expansion, setting, and browning. As the temperature of the batter rises, the gases in the air cells expand the stretchy gluten from the flour. Then the chemical leavening agents release carbon dioxide, which is essentially what we are going to be looking at in this recipe. Here we are making the topping. We added to a medium-sized bowl flour, sugar, baking powder, cinnamon, and salt. These ingredients were whisked together until they were thoroughly combined. Here, adding baking powder is used to increase the volume and lighten the texture of our baked goods. It does so by releasing CO2 gas into the batter through an acid-base reaction, causing the bubbles in the wet mixture to expand. Here we are adding a hint of salt. The salt reduces bitterness and actually allows sweetness to come forward, producing a more well-rounded flavor. Using melted butter rather than oils is important in order to obtain a further cake with a tighter structure. Here, the use of the spatula, as well as our hands, were used to blend until all the ingredients were crumbly and sticking together. This was then placed in the refrigerator to chill while we made the rest of the cake. Recipe involves adding both baking powder and baking soda, which are both chemical leavening agents that cause batters to rise when baked. Here, the baking powder does most of the leavening. The baking soda, on the other hand, is added in order to neutralize the acids in the recipe and be able to add some tenderness and some leavening. To note that here, 2 large eggs at room temperature had to be used. If eggs are colder than the temperature of the butter in our mixture when they are added, they can cool the butter down and cause it to become more solid. This will have the same effect on the emulsion as if the eggs were added too quickly, and will also cause the emulsion to split. With the mixer on low, it was important to gradually add half of the eggs. Adding the eggs slowly makes it easier to disperse the liquid and promote even suspension of liquid and fat. The use of buttermilk in our mixture not only brings a pleasant tang to our cake, but it actually helps tenderize gluten, giving our baked good a softer texture and more body because of its acidic properties. Here, it was important to scrape the sides of the bowl with the spatula and be gentle. This is important because once mixed with the liquid, the proteins in the flour begin to form gluten structures. Here, we are preparing a large pan. A larger pan provides increased surface area for the crumbs, making the best cake to crumble ratio. Now it is time to remove the topping from the refrigerator and sprinkle it very evenly on top of the batter. Now it is time to place the baking pan on the center rack of a preheated oven and bake for about 30 minutes. And here is the final result.